You're listening to another episode of Last Night's Coffee with Chuck and John.
Greetings, Earthlings, and locally hated Coca-Cola machine vendors. No, let me do another one.
Yeah.
All right. Greetings, Earthlings, and locally hated vending machine operators.
I could dig.
They didn't have any.
What happened?
They didn't have any. You know how they used to have the pork rinds at the one at work?
Yeah.
They
No
didn't
pork
have
rinds?
no pork rinds, and they didn't even have that little sausage stick with
What?
the cheese. Both of those were gone.
No.
Yeah.
What in the world?
That's the world we live in now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Last Night's Coffin, episode 189.
That's
We
right.
are recording on a Sunday night because I've got jury duty in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked day shift. I was a day walker today.
That's right.
It was somewhat strange. It was lonely at the shop. The vibes don't come out at night.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. I bet the ghosts don't come out either, though.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Isn't that funny how that happens?
Mm-hmm. I pulled a truck off the door.
Mm-hmm.
Down on the end. And I swear, when I looked back to the back of that truck, that door was open into the building. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, oh, because I was like, they didn't even shut this building. I go back around to park the truck at the end of my shift because I rebuilt this truck, and the freaking door was closed.
What do you think happened, man?
Either I didn't see what I thought I saw, or
Yeah.
the door vibrated, the building vibrated, and the door shut. I don't know.
Could be. You don't know, man. We don't know.
I know I looked back there and saw the belt. I'm like, they just left this truck open. Like the truck was open, the door was open.
So maybe the ghosts do come out during the day.
I don't know if it's ghost or like, I don't know what it is, dude. I think they need to check their cameras is what they need to do.
I heard that, brother. Look, it was opening day for the racing. I want to hear all about it, dude. I want to hear all about opening day for race weekend. How was the build-up? How was the execution? How was the ride home? Tell me all about it.
Well, so when I got off work Thursday night, Friday morning, I went to the shop and started working on the car till 6 o'clock in the morning. Went to bed, got back up. I was back in the shop around 10:30.
Right.
And then we worked on the trailer. We worked on the car. We worked on the trailer. All three had something going on.
Right.
Right? I had to go get stuff from town, whatever. We just like thrashing.
Right.
So we get the trailer finished. The car's finished. The trailer's finished. We got to be at the racetrack about 5:30. At 4:30, we load the race car up because we were close enough to being done with it to go to the racetrack. The trailer ramp overs ain't really done, and at this time, and the race car ain't really done at this time.
Right. But you were getting it loaded up. You were ready.
Yeah, we were gonna go make some laps.
You could run practice.
Yeah, we were practice ready.
Yeah.
And dude, we go over there. We run about 3 sessions of practice. We tried out a new carburetor, and everybody was smiles, right? So we loaded it up, took it home, unloaded it, worked about 1:30 in the morning, finishing the lettering on it. Then got up Saturday morning and hit the shop about 10 again, and worked until it was time to leave because we had some stuff we had to adjust. and fix and touch up and finish. And
Sure.
then we went to the racetrack, and then we raced, and then Charlie, the car was pushing really, really bad in hot laps, and we couldn't figure out why. And we checked the stagger, and we didn't like the stagger.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took a big swing at the stagger because I only had one size tire to throw on there. So I took a huge swing at stagger.
How did it go?
It made it really loose. It made it better. The car's never been loose. So my young driver got a little over rambunctious and spun it out twice, and they put him off the track.
Oh.
But it turned out to be okay because after that, the race turned into a crash fest.
Oh.
And every car that was on in that race last night, except for him and the leader, had damage.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah.
So wait, is that track rules that like if you spin out twice, you have to exit?
Yeah, it happens like that sometimes.
Now, why is that? Is that to try to keep inexperienced drivers
going.
Try to keep the show going? You don't want somebody out there who can't handle the car.
Yeah,
and not saying that Charlie can't handle his car. Like I understand. It's just the way of the world sometimes.
It happens.
Yeah, it's just the way of the world sometimes.
It happens.
But yeah, I get it. It's to keep the race going, to keep that sort of thing off the track. I get it.
The car's better now, though.
Well, good. When are you guys going to be able to run some more practice laps?
I don't know. I think we're going to race again on. We're talking about going and racing. It's a possibility April 4th we might go to Penton and race and see how this setup does at Penton.
Okay.
Look, dude, we used some of that Daytona 1 dirt off on the nose. It's called, Charlie, what's it called?
What?
Daytona 1.
Yeah, Daytona 1?
Yeah, the dirt off?
Oh, yeah, dirt off.
Dirt off. Charlie is a dealer for Daytona 1.
Heyo.
And it's kind of like their school fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
You buy some Daytona 1. It helps them out. But instead of the money going to the school, it goes to the student, and they can use it in their racing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we use some of the Daytona. We use Daytona 1 product all over that race car. And now that Charlie's a dealer, I guess this is kind of like, it's not really a paid ad, but it's just, if he wants to pay us to be, to do an ad read.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll do an ad read.
Yeah, gladly.
But they sell defrictionators.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, you got to defrictionate things. And
that sounds like a made-up word.
And it's safe. They did make it up. They did make it up, and then they copyrighted it. So now it's a word.
I think I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, that's right.
No, the dude that came up with it, man, he's in like the NASA Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think next time we go to Daytona, I told Charlie, I said, I want to go meet Buck. I want to go shake his hand.
Yeah. You should.
But
anyway. So are you doing like an advertisement for the dirt off or the defrictionator right now, or both?
Well, we used the defrictionator. It's a spray lubricant. Well, there's all kinds of lubricants that they have.
Okay.
We used the defriction, some of the stuff in the engine. We used their gear oil and the rear end stay pretty cool.
Okay.
We used. They got a spray lube. It's like, basic spray lube.
Sure.
But it's dustless. It don't attract dust. And the can is non-aerosol. It's one of those that's got the bladder around the, inside it.
Yeah.
So you can spray it in any direction.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Well, we use this their dirt off spray.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, think of it as Pam for dirt. So you spray it on the front of the body, and dirt won't stick to it. And we didn't spray it Friday night, and we had dirt all over the front of it from other cars. We sprayed it Saturday before we went to the race, and you can spray it and leave it, or you can spray it and polish it. If you polish it, it gives it a nice little, like you put wax on it. No dirt stuck to that car on the front.
What?
None at all.
The whole race?
The whole race, dude. It was so clean.
That's weird.
I'm going to wash my truck, because when it rains, my fender wells get muddy. You've seen it, because it's going up and down the driveway. I want to put it in my fender wells and see what happens.
Yeah, I bet it would work really well.
Yeah.
Is it like a wax, kind of?
It's a spray can. It's like you spray it on like Pam. It smells like oranges.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got a real neat smell to it.
Yeah, shout out Daytona 1.
So
Charlie spun out twice. How was the ride home? How were you taking that result?
You texted me Saturday. You texted me Saturday, and you're like, "Are you nervous yet?"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "No, not yet."
Yeah, because I woke up with the pre-race jitters. Yeah, I'm not even racing. I couldn't even make it to the race. I knew I wasn't coming, but I was like, I just had those jitters. You know, it was race day.
Yeah. Well, I got to the track, and I was good till about 5 minutes before his race. We were doing something to the car, and my legs were shaking. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Tony from Da Vinci's come out, and Philip from Ember and Oak come out. So,
Nice.
And then I got to tell you about the free stuff I got here in a minute.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm off camera.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
we go.
Now you are.
Oh, now I'm
Now
real
you're on
centered.
camera.
So I was nervous. I went down into pits because I like to be inside the pits in case there's a problem, like him coming off the track. I'd like to know why.
Sure.
You know. So I kind of had to talk him down a little bit because he was kind of beating himself up a little.
Right.
I'm like, dude, it happens to everybody. We all spin out by ourselves sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I spun out a lot by myself. That's why I'm the mechanic. They said that. Well, somebody asked me one time, "How you spin out going that slow?" I was like, "I don't know. It just happened." But anyway, so I was nervous. Then he got to racing, and I saw how good the car was. The car is fast. It's a lot faster than it was.
Okay.
And I don't think he was expecting it to be that fast. And also, he was kind of pinching off 1 and 2 a little bit, and that was making the car come around. If he would have let 1 and 2 flow, he would have. And like he was trying to run the bottom in 1 and 2, and run the middle in 3 and 4, and it was good in the middle of 3 and 4. But if he'd run the middle in 1 and 2, I don't think he would have spun. I think he would have passed cars, but also he would have been getting beat up because it was one car doing all the beating up. Whatever.
Okay. I got you.
He was roughing up everybody that passed him. But he's got stage 4 pancreas cancer, the guy that was driving it, pancreatic cancer, and I don't know if he was on pills or what. It happens.
Dude, he don't care if he lives or dies.
He don't
That's
care,
what
man.
He does not care.
So we get all that, and we go back out, and we're talking to the sponsors, and Paul's race comes up, and Paul's like, "Hey, man, will you go down in the pits for me, in case I have a problem?" I was like, "Yeah." So I hitch a ride. I done got a cigar from Philip, and so I'm sitting there smoking a cigar, big old cigar, and I want to get down in the pits, and I catch a ride with some dude on the golf cart. I'm like, "Hey, man, can I ride your golf cart? Can I ride down here?" He's like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Where you want to go?" I was like, "I just wanted to get down here. You can just drop me off anywhere." So get down there. I'm standing there now, waiting, and they're doing track. You've been there when they're doing track prep and how long that takes. So they're doing some track prep between races. And anyway, all of a sudden, I was like, just looking around. And then they got done doing track prep, and 602 come out. 602 Chargers come out, and not Chargers, regular 602, and they buzzed the track a little bit, did some hot laps to make sure it was race ready. And at that moment, I was like, I'm so relaxed. This is the first time in months that I've been relaxed, and I remembered why I liked this thing called racing.
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
That's good, man. That's really good.
As far as the ride home, Charlie drove Mary Beth home, which turned out to be. Have you ever rode with a race car driver?
No.
No. Well, if you ride with a race car driver after the race, and they're still kind of pumped up, it's not fun. So she's like, I shouldn't have let him drive. He scared the crap out of me.
Oh yeah.
Because we were behind him and he was gone. I'm like, where is he going? Like he goes through that new roundabout over there by that Fraser's, and he's just like, I was like, whoa. And so it's me and Dad riding home. We're just listening to classic vinyl on XM, and just talking about the night. And I hear something rattling. I couldn't figure out what it was, so I want to stop at Huckabee's. And this part's funny. I wanted to stop at Huckabee's and just check. So I stop at Huckabee's, and I pull in over there under those lights that are on that end, like on my side. So I went through it and come back around. Well, there's this white SUV sitting in their parking lot, which ain't unheard of for a car to be sitting in that parking lot when you pull up over there. Because we pull up. So if you don't know, when we had to meet the Griffin mechanic, Huckabee's is our meeting spot. It's halfway between our two buildings. Yeah. And there'll be random people there in the middle of the night. And cats.
Oh, yeah.
So I get out and I start looking around, and a woman in an SUV pulls over there and kind of like rides by and looks at the car and then backs back up, and she goes, I'm supposed to be meeting a race car driver here, and it's not y'all. I'm like, no, it's not. So I proceed to pull back I'm pulling out the that Dollar General side of it.
Yeah.
And here comes the race car driver that is. It's one of the guys in Charlie's class.
Oh, no way.
I was like,
no way. That's so funny.
It was kind of funny. I'm like, what you got going on?
Yeah, right? Yeah, one of them lot lizards he's meeting after the race. What's going on?
I don't know. She wasn't a lot lizard because she had she was in a Mercedes SUV.
Ooh,
like you pull in middle of the night, you pull into freaking Huckabee's, and there's a Mercedes SUV sitting in the parking lot.
That part is odd.
That part's the odd part. Yeah.
Sure.
So anyway, me and Dad drove on home and laughed about that the rest of the way home. And that was it, dude. Charlie cleaned the car up today, and I went to work. Went to church, went to work. So, we got a new 4-wheeler.
Nice.
Charlie traded a shotgun for a 4-wheeler.
Nice.
That he had traded something to get the shotgun. So he had that. He had one of those shotguns to like. It was a Mossberg. Yeah. He's like, I'm just gonna keep it until I either use it. I think he shot it like 3 times and then he traded it.
Dude, I think I'm gonna give Charlie a used candle. And just
see how far he can take it.
See how far he can go. I want to give him a used candle.
Trade your way up to a super late model.
Dude, I bet he'd at least have me like a kite or something like that by the end of it. You know what I mean?
I showed him that video, that clip from Wolf of Wall Street where it's like, sell me the pencil.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And he kind of chuckled at that.
Yeah, that was
But he's like that,
Yeah. Smooth talkers, man. Smooth talkers.
So, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our race weekend. Oh, and then I got up this morning and I found out that one of my racing heroes had passed away.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so a gentleman named Bobby Pryor. He's my friend Mike, the corner, is his father. He passed away. He had been battling some illness, and we just, I learned a lot from him going to the racetrack with them. He raced stock cars back at Sanoa. He raced at the first race at Sanoa in 1969.
Wow. Wow.
And yeah, so he was a part of it for a long time. He raced there. I think he raced at the Peach Bowl a little bit. He raced Skeeters he raced Skeeters. If you don't know what a Skeeter is, look it up. A vintage Skeeter race car is like these two frame rails with a body and an engine and a wing, and the drive shaft goes between your legs.
What?
Yeah, kind of like a sprint car. I think they said on that one they made the seat out of a 55-gallon drum.
Oh my gosh.
So those things were wild.
That sounds terrifying.
I've watched them race at some vintage races before, and they're never straight. And because you can see in them, because there ain't much body on them, and they got a big old freaking steering wheel because they don't have power steering.
Right.
And you just see fist.
Yeah.
They're coming off the corner, and they're just like,
Yeah. Well, I bet it's just constant flex in that thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, or something.
Yeah, it's a roll bar. It don't have a cage. It's got roll bars.
Right. It's probably just constant flex on that thing.
And
holy smokes.
like half leaf rear suspension. I think they got straight axle front ends on them. They were just odd pieces of race car.
Weird.
But they turned into what became the super modifieds that we have today that are insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mr. Bobby, he passed away this morning. So that was
R.I.P.
He actually, and I didn't know this. So he was friends with and race and competitors with Clint Smith's dad, Roscoe. And Roscoe told this story on a radio show one time about how he come up with the number 44 because he had been drag racing and he wanted to try this oval track racing. And Bobby told him, he said, man, he said, just take a number you like and double it. So he liked 4 and he doubled it and he become 44. And that number was synonymous with Roscoe and Clint from then on.
Wow. How about that?
And then when we raced radio controlled cars with Mike, I always wanted to be number 3, but everybody wanted to be number 3 back then. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So he goes, just take that 3 and double it. Be 33. I was like, okay, that works.
Yeah. That's double cool.
Yeah, that's double cool. Three's good. So then I become, on everything I ever raced after that, was 33.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting little story.
So that's how I
there.
got my number.
How about that? I like that, man. I hate to hear about your loss of the local racing legend there.
Yeah.
I hate that, but it sounds like all in all, not a bad weekend at the racetrack.
No. And Bobby had a good run. So, and like I said, I learned a lot of them. I learned how to be cool at the racetrack, like not be loud, not be obnoxious. Kind of hold your cards close to your chest.
Right.
The etiquette of being in the pits,
Mm-hmm.
Only fight if you need to. His wife was my Sunday school teacher, and I found out later on. This was a story Mike told me. It's probably last year. He said, "You ain't gonna believe this, but they all went to jail one night for fighting." He said it was just me and my grandpa left.
What?
Yeah, the whole freaking family, because he'd race with his brother would go with him. And,
oh my goodness.
And he goes, you asked Mama, she said she never went to jail. But he said every one of them went to jail one night for fighting.
Jeez.
At the racetrack. So I thought that was
racing will do that to people, man.
Racing brings that. I saw there was a couple fights almost happened last night with that one guy that was roughing up everybody. There was people, everybody wanted to fight him. Even an hour after that race was over, there were still guys ready to fight. And I'm like,
I don't doubt it. You daggone rednecks get so
But I'm
wound up
gonna
about
stand
that
here and
racing.
watch. I've
Oh,
only been close to 2 fights.
was that when you were racing?
When I was crew chiefing for a car or helping pit for a car, this was when I was working on Dad's car, and I was helping another friend too, and they'd gotten in a wreck out there, and I was up on top of the trailer, and one of the screw guys come over there running his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, running his mouth, dude. So I had a water bottle in my hand, about half full, and popped him in the head with it from the top of the trailer. And then they come and took him off because they didn't see me throw the water bottle. They saw him throw it back at me.
Right.
So he got in trouble.
Oh, jeez.
And then there was a couple of... Dad about broke a guy's hand over there one night.
No.
Yeah.
Lost his temper.
Well, no, he never lost his temper. He come over there and the guy was wanted to shake his hand and apologizing for putting him in the wall. And Dad grabbed his hand. And you know how you shook Dad's hand before.
Mm-hmm.
Dad wouldn't let go.
Ugh.
He didn't let go. He grabbed that hand and pulled that joker close, and he said, "It'll be all right. We'll get you back next time," or something like that. And that's that night Dad got out of his Pinto without taking the steering wheel off. He was so mad.
How the heck did he even do that? How does he
I don't
get out of
know.
that car?
I don't know how he got out of it without. He still don't know how he got out of it because I didn't even take the steering wheel off that thing.
Couldn't do it again.
No. So.
Oh man.
But yeah, that
Good
was
times at the racetrack.
That was funny. That guy come over, he goes, "Man, you didn't have to." He goes, "Man, you got." The guy made some comment about how hard he shook his hand, and he goes, "Dad said, because I was trying to break it."
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
We didn't have no problems with them anymore at all.
You don't say. You don't say.
So
I'm glad Charlie's okay. I'm glad the car's okay, and I'm looking forward to hearing about the next race.
yeah, me too.
Oh man, Chucker, we got to shift some gears here real quick.
Shifting gear. Hey, what'd you do this weekend? Anything?
Worked on cars, dude.
Oh, okay.
I worked on
You
cars all
sent me
weekend.
a picture, but I never looked at it.
I don't even know what I was doing.
It was hold on, I'll go back and look at it because we need to discuss it because you felt that you needed to send the picture, so I felt like
No. It was just I remember what it was. I got the cowl and the intake and all that stuff off of one of them Toyota Siennas in less than an hour.
oh,
I think.
this engine's mounted frontwards.
Oh yeah, that was a different one. That was a different Toyota I had to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got to do to that? You got to take the intake off to put spark plugs in that?
Yeah.
I'm so glad I weld on the weekends.
Yeah, man. Working on all these cars is not fun.
Welding and sign work. If you need any sign work, give me a call.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I need some. I done got caught up on everything, and now I got to get busy again, or I'll go crazy.
Right. Well, I keep getting so much work over here in the driveway, dude. I can't.
But ain't it weird how if you don't have anything going on, you start getting weird?
Oh yeah, I'll start getting a little freaked out.
Yeah, like if you're not
Why
busy
don't
and
I have something?
if you're not busy and tired,
Mm-hmm.
something's not right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You start getting too much sleep, and your shoulders hurt.
Yeah, and I'll think too much.
Yeah. And you'll be like, and then you're on market. Well, you're not on marketplace, but then you're on marketplace going, maybe I should buy that 78 Corvette that don't have any parts left on it.
I don't have any of those ideas ever.
Okay.
Never.
See, you're not the kind of guy that looks at. You work on cars, but you're not a car guy.
Correct.
I've
There's
always-
some that like I can appreciate, of course. Like I can
Z-cars.
appreciate. Yeah, well, I know they're weird, but yeah, I do appreciate a good Z car.
Yeah. But it's I always find that weird, guys that work on cars that aren't car guys.
Yeah.
Because y'all are like immune to cars.
Yeah.
Y'all can just work on a car and not want it.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah,
Not a problem.
That don't work for me.
Not a problem.
Let's
man.
talk about JFK, dude.
Oh yeah, shifting gears. JFK.
Shifting gears.
We got some disclosure on the JFK files. It's kind of a big deal, man. We got quite a bit out. It was more the second day of files released that we got a lot of information out of it. Now, I want to go ahead and point out that we're not going to get many answers out of these files as far as the actual assassination goes, right?
Right.
Like as far as lone gunmen, multiple gunmen, grassy knoll, book depository, like, look, that kind of stuff is not in these files. What we did find out a lot from these files was kind of how the CIA works and how it has worked over the last number of decades, right? So basically what we have here is a lot of motive showing why the U.S., the CIA or certain persons inside the CIA would want to assassinate our president. And I'm just going to hit on a few things. Now, I'm going to get a little bit in depth on these things, but it's just going to be a few of the highlights. And you can get anybody who wants more information. There's plenty of stuff that implicates Cuba and the mafia and the KGB and Israel, and there's plenty of other documents that implicate all of those organizations and countries as well, but I'm mainly going to focus on our country and the CIA. So the first thing I want to point out from these files, Gary Underhill. Anyone who has ever really kind of deep dived the JFK assassination knows a little bit about Gary Underhill. He is a World War II veteran turned CIA officer after the war. After the assassination of JFK, he went on record saying that a clique inside the CIA was making money selling guns, drugs, and influence, and that's who also killed the president.
No.
And JFK actually found out about all of this prior. JFK found out about all their shenanigans that they had, all the contraband that they were selling. He found out about all of it and threatened to expose the CIA, and that's when they killed him. And so this guy Underhill, 6 months after he makes his statement, after he goes on record and makes a statement, he is found shot in the left
this is
side.
the guy that that guy.
Yeah, this guy is found shot in the left side of his head, right behind his ear. Okay, so directly behind his ear, despite being left-handed. So it's the left side of his head, right behind his ear. He's right-handed.
Yeah.
So he would do it with his other hand, and it definitely wouldn't be behind his ear. Anyone who's ever shot themselves wouldn't do it behind their ear.
That's
but despite all that, law enforcement rules it a suicide, of course. And so that's the first major thing I want to point out that was just a lot of information was disclosed in these files. The next one I want to get to, the next guy I want to get to, Earl Cabell.
Oh, Earl had to die.
Oh. That's right, dude. Earl Cabell. He's the mayor of Dallas. On the day of the parade, he changed the route, and there has never, ever been a decent explanation given for why. So these new files show that Earl Cabell was a CIA asset. And as a matter of fact, his brother, Charles, was the deputy director of the CIA at one time. So we've got the brother of the deputy director of the CIA, the mayor of Dallas, changing the route the day of the parade so that it goes right by that book depository that Oswald supposedly shot him from. The other note about all of this is Charles Cabell, the brother of Earl Cabell, the mayor of Dallas. Charles Cabell, who was the deputy director of the CIA, he was fired from that position by JFK because of his involvement in the Bay of Pigs, right?
Yeah,
In that
right.
terrible fiasco. And if you remember that after that disaster in Cuba, JFK promised to scatter the CIA to the wind. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was JFK's exact
Well, I
words.
mean, I
was
don't
to scatter
remember
them
it
to the
because
wind.
I wasn't there, but I
Well,
know
sure, but you can look it up, right? That's on record. Here we go. The ICA. This is kind of crazy. The ICA, which was the group that funded and ran the Bay of Pigs operation, they were disbanded 5 months after the operation because the group was run so poorly, right? I mean, we know that Bay of Pigs operation was a terrible operation. And not long after the ICA was disbanded, it was replaced with
CIA.
USAID.
Oh, USAID.
Yeah, these were the people responsible for funding and kind of and all of that. These were the people responsible for funding was the ICA. So that was closed down. They could no longer funnel the funds through there, and USAID was set up. So the State Department and the CIA and all these other government agencies went from using the ICA to hide their money to using USAID. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's really crappy. They were using these funds to disrupt the elections in other countries, to derail the civil rights movement in the United States. All of it. I mean, every single thing you can imagine. All the gross government stuff that should be our worst fears. That's been taking place under the guise of, assistance towards freedom, basically, and assistance towards health with USAID. It's so gross. So for 62 years, up until the other week when Trump shut down USAID, all these government agencies were using USAID as their piggy bank. And that's why all these politicians and deep state members are pissed. It's because their faucet has been turned off, right? They don't have any more money.
Right.
So it's crazy how all that stuff kind of ties into even more of what Trump has kind of been uncovering. All right.
Right.
I know that's a lot, but
that was a lot.
Let's get to after the assassination real quick. And this is going to be a lot shorter. LBJ's first order of business is to establish the Warren Commission, which was run by Alan Dulles, the former CIA director, who was also fired by Kennedy for the Bay of Pigs disaster. Okay. Right. So LBJ, this president wanted to move forward in Vietnam, right? And of course, Kennedy did not. He wanted out. And there are these two brothers in Vietnam. I cannot remember their names, like the DM brothers or something like that.
Yeah.
But they are essentially the leaders of South Vietnam, and they're ready to take a peace deal with the Viet Cong, right? They were about to sign this deal that would nationalize all the banks. It would set up a DMZ zone in between North and South Vietnam, all this stuff. In 2 days before these guys were about to sign the peace deal, and this is 20 days before Kennedy's assassination, those brothers that were going to sign it, were killed. So the CIA, without permission from our president, goes and kills these two guys and then launched a coup in Vietnam, which, furthered the tensions in the war and escalated everything. So, and got the U.S. involvement ramped up. So it's just crazy how all of these things interconnect. And I say all that to say these are all motives behind it, right? None of this obviously points directly to multiple people involved with the assassination or anything else, but
right.
All of this points to motives as to why the CIA would want to get rid of Kennedy.
Right. Now, who is the old money that is running it now?
Well, I mean, you have to look back at some of those families, right? I mean, the Bush family, of course, has been around for a long time. Even Soros, right? I mean, a lot of these families have been around for a long time. Pelosi, I mean, Newsom's her nephew or whatever. Like, all of this stuff, all of these people are connected. They're all intertwined somehow or another. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is a.
It's our worst. It's all the conspiracy theories come true, and I mean, this is part of what the CIA does. Is they slowly they do this slow burn of release of information so that it's not so drastic when we finally get around to the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just
And that's
like-
kind of what they've done for the last
So-
62. It hadn't been 62. He was murdered in 63. So yeah. I mean, I guess it has been 62 years.
60
so
years.
yeah, it's been 62 years, right? That's crazy, man. So for that long, they've been kind of slowly giving us little bits of information just to where we finally get around to this, basically the truth, where they were behind it. The deep state was behind it. The CIA was behind it.
Okay. So this makes me wonder more about freaking 9/11, because I've never been a 9/11 conspiracy guy.
Sure.
But now I'm like, well, the Bushes were involved with JFK.
Right. Building 7 or Tower 7 or whatever, dude, that is as suspicious as it gets.
Yeah.
I will say that. I'm not like one of those 9/11 super conspiracy theorists either. I find it entertaining at times. How wild some of those guys get, but the Building 7 stuff,
Building
I
7
will
is
say,
very interesting.
it is as suspicious as it comes, dude. It's as suspicious as it comes. So yeah, I mean, or even what was that kid's name? Thomas Brooks.
What'd he do?
Wasn't that the kid that took the shot at Trump?
Oh yeah.
I mean, these are the types of things that our CIA has been able to do in other countries, and that's exactly what they've done in our own country. And I think we'll find that out with the MLK files. I think we'll find that out with the RFK files. All of it. I think we'll find out exactly who the CIA is.
Now, that now Kash Patel is in charge of the CIA too.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he's director of the FBI and acting director of the CIA.
Okay.
So I
Let's
think
see.
that's a good thing.
We'll see. If he's shutting down a lot of these operations, man, and I just found it interesting that like the two things that the government wanted redacted from the JFK files, they've never really redacted their own involvement. They just never released those particular files until recently. What they have redacted from previous files and documents is Israel's involvement, and also the State Department's involvement in moving assets around. Which it's like that was already super obvious. Everybody already knew the State Department was moving CIA assets. So I didn't really understand why they wanted that part redacted. But anyway, we got some truth. The CIA killed JFK. There you go.
We had talked about doing a live show.
Yeah.
Right when it broke. But why do they release the files? Why don't they release the files with a summary and say, this is what happened, and you've got to find like mildly autistic people who can actually articulate what they read, like me. Right.
I can sometimes read and then articulate what I read. So I've just been reading a lot.
But see, that's what Trump makes you do. He makes you do homework.
Yeah. Well, I mean, get it from the source.
Yeah. Which is better than some. He'll get out there and he'll be like, talking his game.
Yeah.
But when he drops something like this, he makes you do your homework, so he's not just pointing fingers.
Now, I did look up a cheat sheet. There's plenty of cheat sheets online that'll help you get through the directory and know what files exactly to look at, the juicy ones. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can definitely look up a cheat sheet so that you don't have to sift
Marilyn Monroe.
Not in these files,
because I think they killed her too.
I think so too, think. Well, I wouldn't. What if the Kennedys did that?
It could have.
Could have, man. Could have. Dude, I tell you what, man. We've had a pretty good show up into this point. Do you want to send me a meme?
Are we stopping?
I mean, we
haven't talked about turtle and pants.
I know that we've got a bunch of really crazy, odd news articles on the docket. Do you want to talk about all of them?
I've been thinking. I want to hit on some of them. Tell me
All
about
right,
the turtle in the pants.
All right, I'll read to you about the turtle in the pants.
Okay.
All right, here's the headline. Man found with a live turtle concealed in his pants by TSA at a New Jersey airport. Here it is. A Pennsylvania man who was going through security at a New Jersey airport was found to have a live turtle concealed in his pants, according to the Federal Transportation Security Administration. The turtle was detected Friday after a body scanner alarm went off at Newark Liberty International Airport. A TSA officer then conducted a pat-down on the East Stroudsburg man and determined that there was something concealed in the groin area of his pants.
A mud turtle.
When questioned further, the man reached into his pants and pulled out the turtle, which was about 5 inches long and wrapped in a small blue towel. So he was trying to pass it off as a boner. He said it was a red ear slider turtle, a species that is popular as a pet.
Yeah.
The man, whose name was not released, was escorted from the checkpoint area by Port Authority police and ended up missing his flight. The turtle was confiscated.
They took his turtle?
It's not clear if the turtle was the man's pet or why he had it in his pants.
They took the man's turtle, John.
Well,
do they have the right to take a turtle?
dude,
now, those
the
red ear
squirrel I fight back against, right? The squirrel I had an issue with. Harambe I had an issue with. This turtle did not belong in his pants. A red ear slider belongs in a body of water, Jack.
Free the turtle.
I'm not.
Was his name Splinter?
Was
he picking up a new ninja? Was he picking up a new Ninja Turtle?
Did he have his bow staff? Was he hanging on to his bow staff in them
He's
pants?
hanging on to his bow staff. Dude, that turtle. Did you say it happened at an airport?
Yeah.
So that turtle flew.
Yeah. Yeah.
He made it through security one time.
Yeah, I think so.
And he couldn't make it back through security with the turtle?
I reckon.
Turtle.
How awesome.
You
dude.
sure it wasn't Mitch McConnell in his pants?
It could have been, man. It could have been.
Just glitching. Mitch done gone back to his original life form.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old Glitch McConnell.
Okay. The next one I want to talk about is the golden toilet.
Okay.
Not to be confused with Golden Slumbers by the Beatles.
God. I really wanted to talk about. I want to talk about the couple on the another plane story after this.
Okay.
All right. Prosecutor says golden toilet was stolen from English Palace in an audacious raid. All right, here we go. In London, of course. It was not your typical smash and grab burglary, and the booty was precious. A toilet worth more than its weight in gold. The one-of-a-kind 18-karat gold toilet was swiped in under 5 minutes from the Blenheim Palace, the sprawling English country mansion where British wartime leader Winston Churchill was born, in the pre-dawn hours of September 14th, 2019. Dude, a golden toilet from Winston Churchill's birthplace.
I bet he took tremendous dumps.
Do you think you think it was there when Churchill was there?
No.
Like, has it always been there?
No, because that toilet's too new.
Yeah. All right. Attorney Julian Christopher said in his opening statement in Oxford Crown Court that it was an audacious raid. One of the three men on trial in the case of the purloined potty was involved in stealing it, and the other two helped to sell the spoils. Okay, so 3 guys charged. 1 of them stole it. 3 of them sold it. The toilet has never been recovered, but it is believed to have been cut up and sold.
Was it solid gold, or was it a gold-plated porcelain toilet?
So the satirical work title. Guess the. Oh my gosh! This you won't.
Is this an Onion article?
No, the title. The title of the artwork, the golden toilet, is America.
Wait, it's not a real toilet?
No, that's yes, it's a real toilet. And the artist who made it, it was an Italian conceptual artist, Maurizio Catalan. It weighed over 215 pounds, and he named it America. It was insured for 4.8 million pounds, British pounds, and $6 million. The value of the gold at the time of manufacture was $3.5 million.
Look, people. Just because you can afford a golden toilet doesn't make it a good idea.
Yeah. So this is really funny. I just got to add this.
Okay.
The piece had previously been on display at the Guggenheim Museum in New York.
So is it not a functional toilet?
I don't think it's a functional toilet.
But so you'd have to go like full Grown-Ups 2 on this toilet.
Yes.
Clean up on all four.
Yeah. So listen to this. The museum had offered the work to U.S. President Donald Trump during his first term in office. After he had asked to borrow a Van Gogh painting, they offered him a golden toilet instead.
Look, he's already got a golden toilet.
Yeah, he ain't trying to get yours.
He ain't got to get your golden toilet. He's got one that works.
Yeah, the one that he actually sits on.
Yeah. That's just wild, dude.
Yeah, so there's that one. All right, let me tell you about this couple that had to sit next to a dead person real quick.
Okay.
Couple forced, quote unquote, sit next to dead body for hours on Qatar Airways flight. All right, a couple have said they were forced to sit next to a dead body for 4 hours.
Good night.
Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Collin were traveling from Melbourne to Doha en route to Italy when a woman walked out of the toilet and collapsed near their row about 10 hours into the journey.
So
This is
they
hilarious.
just left her?
Just wait, dude. Just wait. This story gets great. You're going to love this. Unfortunately, the lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch, Mr. Ring told Australia's A Current Affair.
What the heck?
He added, they tried to wheel her up towards business class, but she was quite a large lady, and they couldn't get her through the aisle. The pair, who were the only ones in a row of 4, said flight attendants put the woman in one of the spare seats for the remaining 4 hours of the flight. Mr. Ring told Australian media, they said, can you move over, please? And I just said, yes, no problem. Then they placed the lady in the chair I was sitting in. He said there were a few spare seats nearby, but claimed crew didn't offer to move them.
Dude.
Mr. Ring also said he was told to stay put while medical teams removed blankets covering the woman when they landed, and that they were offered no support. In a statement to Sky's U.S. partner network, NBC News, Qatar Airways said, first and foremost, our thoughts are with the family of the passenger who sadly passed away on board our flights. We apologize for any inconvenience or distress this incident may have caused and are in the process of contacting passengers in line with our policies and procedures.
That's crazy.
She was too big to get through the aisles. Can you imagine these flight attendants struggle busing trying to get this woman up?
So she's big.
Get her through.
She's a big gal.
What are they gonna do? Like put her in one of those sleeper things in business class?
No, they put her. They
like
put her.
cover her
They
up with the sleep mask. And
no. They set her up. They put a drink in her hand and they go full weekend at Bernie's with her.
Dude,
She goes on tour and everything.
just stays on the
Just you know,
oh, man.
just leave her there till you take that plane back to where she came from.
Yeah. Two headlines, and I mean, I might get a little bit more than just the headlines, but I just want to touch on these two stories because they're hilarious, and they're two things that's what's wrong with the world today.
That's right.
Scientists who have been trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. I think we've talked about this on the show.
Yeah,
before.
they were supposed to have it already.
Well, the scientists trying to bring back the woolly mammoth have created a woolly mouse.
Whoa.
Biotech company Colossal Biosciences unveiled plans in 2021 to reveal the woolly mammoth and later the dodo bird. What they have done is created a woolly mouse. And part of the reason why they've done this is to attract more investors. It sounds like I'm not going to go into reading the whole article, but I think they're just trying to drum up more money. I mean, I got to imagine. I wonder if harvesting the mammoth DNA is the expensive part, right?
Just go see freaking Boneyard, dude.
Right?
He's got some.
He'll give it all to you, brother.
He just wants somebody to come see him.
Yeah.
He can't get nobody to come see him.
Dude, he can't get no visitors up there. Okay, so that's a terrible thing. I don't think science should be messing with those things. I think woolly mammoths went extinct for a reason. Let's leave it that way.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. That's what it's got written all over it. All right, next headline I want to hit. Another thing that's wrong with the world today.
Something's wrong with the world today.
Brace yourself.
Don't know what it is.
A Cheeto.
There's meltdown in the sky. Mm.
We're going full bore here.
We're seeing things in a different way. God knows it ain't his. Sure ain't no surprise. Just living on the edge.
There it is. There it is. All right. You ready?
You can't help your phone. Okay. Tell me about the Cheetos. I can't have Cheetos. I'm on a carnivore diet.
That's right. You can have bunless McDonald's.
It was amazing.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you do what you got to do when you're on the road and you get hungry on the carnivore diet. All right. This headline also, what's wrong with the world today? A Cheeto shaped like the beloved Pokemon Charizard is auctioned for $87,840.
Okay. Look, people. I don't understand your whole Pokemon thing anyway. I've never understood Pokemon, never understood Pokemon Go, never understood the cards.
Yeah.
But that's too much money for a Cheeto.
A Cheeto.
A deformed Cheeto. Yeah. Because a proper Cheeto would be Cheeto shaped.
It would not look like a dragon, which is okay. So Charizard looks like a dragon. The Pokemon Charizard is essentially a dragon. So this thing has wings and everything.
You just put that up right there.
Yeah, I'll put a picture up in the corner. I'll put a picture up. So let me read just a little bit of this article. Presented is a 3-inch long flamin' hot Cheeto in the shape of the Pokemon Charizard, affixed to a customized Pokemon card and encapsulated in clear card storage box. The auctioneer's description states,
Whoa.
It was initially discovered and preserved sometime between 2018 and 2022.
You're a nerd for not eating it. And you're looking at your food going, that looks like a Pokemon Charizard.
They literally put it on a card, on a blank Pokemon card, and they put it in a box.
In plastic. So that was nerd number one.
Yeah.
Then there was like at least 2 nerds bidding on this thing.
No, wait for this. Let me continue. There were 60 bids on the uniquely shaped snack, according to the listing. The winning bid was $72,000 plus a buyer's premium.
60 nerds with that much money. What do you want to bet Elon's the one that bought it?
Dude, I hope so.
Or at least somebody he knows.
He's cutting out all this waste and fraud. Meanwhile, he wastes everything. He wastes $87,000 on a Cheeto while he's cutting all the waste out of the government.
Guess what? You're not going to get that money back.
No. I don't think anyone will ever pay that.
I hope. Where is it at?
I don't know. It doesn't say who bought it.
that thing was destroyed in the LA fires. Because it was somebody from California that bought it. Because that's the only place people are stupid enough to buy something like this.
The Cheeto surged in popularity on the social media platforms in late 2024.
I saw it. I saw it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I knew nothing about this. This is all news to me. So this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious.
This is why you got to be on social media, John.
No, thank you, man. No, thank you. All right. So that is all of our news articles. I ran through all of them, brother. We had to get in some wild and wacky news for our night show.
We did it, dude. We got all of it in.
We did.
Do you want a meme?
Yeah, sure.
Would you like a meme after all that?
Yeah, send it over this way.
Let's see.
That was a whole lot. We didn't even take an ad break this show.
I know. George Foreman passed away.
Yeah, R.I.P. Big George, man.
I bought a lot of steak out of the back of a truck.
Oh man,
in the Napa parking lot.
What was it? What's those guys who sell it out of the truck?
This one was Backyard Butcher.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that brand.
I bought like 2 cases of steaks, a case of chicken, and they threw in some more steaks.
Was it all U.S. grown?
They said it was.
I didn't get your meme yet, dude. Did you send it?
Oh, yeah, I'm working on that.
Oh, okay. Gotta love a good night show. Night shifters, we don't do this often. We don't give you guys.
No, we don't get free time.
I'm drinking coffee. I'm still drinking coffee.
I'm not drinking anything. I'm out of whatever I had. Look, I got a Pokemon. Have we used this one?
I don't know. Send it.
No, I can't send that one. I'll send it, but you can't. That ain't the.
Okay.
That ain't the meme. All right.
We can just eat it up, dude.
The second one with the guy from The Office is
okay. Michael Scott. I love The Office. I watch it all the time. My wife is obsessed. Yeah, Michael Scott. Steve Carell is his actual name.
Yeah.
Michael Scott is his character's name.
Okay.
Dad has heart attack. Dad, call me an ambulance. Son, you're an ambulance. Dad.
That's a proud dad moment right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang it, boy.
Just makes you so proud. Makes you well up in the eyes.
Dang it, boy. You did it. I'm down to 300 pounds.
Heyo.
I was hoping by this show, which if we recorded on Monday, I probably would be under 300. But I had to weigh this morning per my app.
Yeah.
300 pounds even.
Yeah.
So
I'm very proud of you.
That's 20 pounds.
I'm very proud of you, dude. When you weigh in the morning and it says 299, I want to see the picture or like just send me the text even. Just let me know you're under 300.
Yeah, I'm not going to send you the picture.
Yeah, just at least I want to know when you know so that I can just celebrate with you, man. I feel like that's such a big deal.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, proud
what
of you.
else? So as we get into the shout outs, Parker Lanes gave us, they sponsored Charlie's Race Car, and they gave us a freaking lemonade this week at the racetrack.
Hey-o.
But I couldn't drink it.
Too much sugar.
So I just tasted it.
Ooh, got your little,
I
dab.
just tasted it.
Yeah.
But then Philip from Ember and Oak gave us a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a cigar. And I
Now you're
enjoyed it.
allowed to have those on the carnivore
I can
diet.
have. There's probably somebody that's like, that's a vegetable.
yeah. Tobacco.
You can't have that.
Yeah.
That's tobacco. That's not from a. Look, it's okay. So I had that, and yeah, it was good. We had a fun time.
That's awesome.
Shout out, Charlie's got a ton of sponsors.
Yeah, he does. Da Vinci's Pizza. You said Parker Lane. Daytona One. Shout them out real quick.
Seat Time.
The Exterior Company.
Exterior Traditions. I had been saying Restorations.
Okay.
I don't know where I got that from. I was just making it up as I go. Wynn's Pharmacy.
Mm-hmm. The Eating Chambers channel. Pink's Barbecue. Shout them out.
Don't go chasing.
We got a lot of sponsors.
Is it time?
Charlie's got a lot of sponsors.
Is it time?
Yeah, it's time. It's go time. Go for it.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.